I think employee benefits is truly organized crime. And we're here to shed the light on the crime world.
Tell us about White Pants.
White Pants says, you know what, I can trust this person. The purpose in what we do is truly to improve the current and future enterprise value of every client we serve. Biggest epic problem we see is lack of transparency and advocacy when it comes to employee benefits.
This is the Business Chat Podcast. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Business Chat, Season 6. We're at the Mastermind Grotto, Southeast Michigan, and I'm here with Shawn Spencer. With Mr. Shawn again. Shawn of Cogent Advisors. Shawn, tell us what you do, but first tell us about White Pants.
So, being that White Pants to me are truly about transparency.
That's right.
And so it's careful when you layer up your white pants that you have given that thought through.
Understood.
And so white pants, I think, show that somebody, it's a sign of purity, in my opinion, and it's a sign of transparency. And to me, white pants says, you know what, I can trust this person.
That's what they say.
That's what I've heard.
White jeans, white denim.
Yes, exactly. Anything white. But my white pants are stretchy and moisture wicking. Okay. Right? And I love the Lululemon product because they're for all body shapes and sizes.
Right.
And they accept people like me. So white pants are phenomenal. That's not really a plug for Lulu. I do love their products.
That's right. That's great.
But everything about white pants just makes sense. And it just kind of, it's an extension of my heart into my pants.
Yeah. Excellent.
So it's not to go and do a sexual thing, but I just want to.
No, not this podcast.
Nope.
Yeah,
no. Yeah. I want just for professionally speaking, when I say heart to my pants, what I mean is literally heart to my pants.
As long as you're transparent. It was good seeing you last night at the concert. The Detroit music scene. Am I right? It's great.
It's first time I've been to a local
bands.
Yeah,
it was fun. And so local band called White Denim, one of my all-time favorite. That is a shameless plug. Check them out. Thought that was funny. I thought, the White Denim, I'm going to let them know. That's the name of the band. That's where
phenomenal.
That's great. So I think they agreed. They probably agree with this idea of white pants.
Well, I was happy that they accepted an old man like me into a cool, hip environment.
And like myself.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Shawn, set us up with Cogent Advisors, and then we'll talk. And I got some questions for you.
Yeah.
What do you do? What's it about?
So Cogent Advisors is a management consulting and employee benefits firm. And that's pretty unique just in and of itself from the standpoint that there's not a lot of insurance brokers that would consider those management consultants. It's typically, hey, we do employee benefits, risk management, and we do some consulting.
Right.
When really, to me, the two are one and the same. Management consulting and employee benefits, we blend together. And I'll kind of walk through why we do that. Because the purpose in what we do is truly to improve the current and future enterprise value of every client we serve, regardless of the economic engine that we use, and we have three of them. One is employee benefits, management consulting, and healthcare data analytics, right? So it's helping people. And so sometimes we use all three, sometimes you use a combination of, but whatever it is, those are the three economic engines. And the biggest epic problem we see in the employee benefit space with middle market business leaders, you're a business owner, is lack of transparency and advocacy when it comes to their second largest expense, which is employee benefits. Now, I don't like employee benefits, right? I'm not a fan of insurance companies that represent them. No, can't stand them. Not at all. And here's the thing.
I can't imagine.
To me, I think employee benefits is truly organized crime. No joke, right? And the politicians are now involved in all this stuff since Obamacare. But anyway, we don't need to go down that path. But the point is, people really don't know how the cake is made on their second largest expense. And that bothers me, right? So when I look at how I work with organizationally and helping them reach that next level, but yet their second largest expense or their largest expense, they don't know how that cake is made. Okay, wait a second. Why would you hire somebody and not know what you expect they're going to do for them? Right. We have done that in this country when it comes to employee benefits.
Got it.
People don't know how. So to me, we kind of give people the opportunity to peek around the curtain on that. And we really tell them now, insurance companies, if you're listening, you know who I'm talking to. You don't like me to say this, but this is the truth, right? If we say we're there to truly help people get healthier and better as an organization, then shouldn't our behaviors reflect that?
Right.
And so everything at Cogent is designed around that purpose, when I say improve the current future enterprise value of the business, well, we deal with the second largest expense, tie those together, and then help measure how we've improved the enterprise value of that business.
So
we
that could be, you're bringing specialty services to people. And
we show them how the cake is made.
Right.
Like people don't even realize.
And I think they're so busy. I think business owners today too, working in the business, and we'll get to that. You actually started to kind of answer what I was going to ask you, which is great. That's what you do. Obviously, there's a case there for that need, and we could be on for a very long time.
I do mind reading on the side.
Mind reading on the side.
Yes. I'm not a medium. I don't do psychic things. I'm literally a mind reader.
In the white jeans.
Yes, white pants.
White pants. Yep.
And the white. And that or my jorts. One of the two. Yep.
Well, you and I've talked about this to no end. For folks listening, for folks watching, we both share the same passion. This work sucks without purpose.
Yeah.
Without purpose, you should go home. Just quit now.
Yep.
I mean, provide for your families and put in your notice and do it right. But get to be doing something that you truly go, I uniquely fit in this, and I wake up excited to help people. What's your purpose in this?
So my purpose truly is, like I said earlier, right, is to help people understand truly the value of their business.
Right.
And also to help improve that.
Yeah.
Now, we use 3 economic engines to enable people to do that.
Yeah.
Depending on what fits best for them.
Right.
It's not like everybody we work with, we do the consulting for or the health analytics or whatever, right? One of the key drivers is obviously in employee benefits because it's a big expense, and we help them repurpose that expense into taking their business to the next level and truly improving the enterprise value. But that's what we do. And we provide scorecards to measure that, to make sure that we truly expect to be held accountable for what it is we do and how we serve our clients. But it's truly about helping them take what their blood, sweat, and tears are. I've seen so many businesses, right, that they love what they do, or at least they started out doing what they love.
They start out loving it, right?
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, let's rediscover the passion of why you love what you do. Yeah. And let's make the noise go away or minimize it through systems and processes, right? So we have an ecosystem that we use that I've written that will meet people where they're at and go at the pace that they want to go, but help them reach that next level. At the end of the day, whether they're looking to sell their business or not, it's about knowing the value of what you have, because if you're working that hard, in it and on it, shouldn't you know really what the value is?
Right.
What a crazy sense of satisfaction that people should have to know, why am I doing this? Well, let's rekindle. So we like to rekindle that fire. And of course, we have fun.
Well, and talk about that fun. That's kind of like, that leads into, we get, like you said, employee benefits. Shawn's not hiding the fact that you're not exactly the best bud of the...
No, not a big fan of insurance companies. I think it's organized crime, and we're here to shed the light on the crime world.
There you go. Now talk to me about the experience from your client's standpoint. So we get what you do kind of transactionally, the service you provide. What is it that, and not just what did they experience, but what's the part that you actually go like, oh, this is my purpose. I get jazzed up about when I...
Yeah. So a couple examples, right? One cool example is that we were brought in as the agent of record for one of my friend's businesses. And in that, we disclose how much we make commission wise. By the way, folks, that's a federal law. You should know they have to disclose. We use alphanumeric in a size 16 font to let people know what that is. And then we can fit it on one line, not like a 6-page document. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we show people, it started with saying, here's how much we're going to make based on, we're providing for you and your employee benefits.
Okay.
What if we repurpose this expense and you hold us accountable to help you improve the EBITDA in your organization? That was one of the things they were struggling with. And so we literally doubled the EBITDA of that business. Meanwhile, we handle all the tactical, transactional, the things that's really quite easy to do if you have the right team, right? We do. And all the transactional adds and deletes, the things like that, the service stuff. But really, I dove into what juices me is diving into that business and taking their bottom line from a negative EBITDA to a positive EBITDA in less than 12 months.
Got it.
And to me, that was absolutely phenomenal as their insurance broker. So like, it's boring and brutal, right? Like no one is excited about it. So, but still the expense and repurposing that to help them, we truly improved the enterprise value of that business. And the joy and excitement that came from the leadership team and then cascaded out to the rest of the people. Yeah. Phenomenal.
Like, what are some of the things these guys are saying to you? Shawn, we've never experienced so much savings, efficiency. You know what I mean? Like I want to hear kind of
Profitability.
yeah, right.
I would narrow it down to that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, profit equals sustainability and scalability, right?
Yep.
So these organizations now can have things that they reinvest into their business. It's not just, oh, they're going to take and put it in their pocket. The business owners, it's how do they reinvest in the business to reach that next level?
Yeah.
And some of the things we will also lead the quarterly offsites for people and things like that, all because we leverage what we do on the employee benefit side, because there's a significant amount of commission that we're paid. So shouldn't we do something to earn it?
Right.
And so another cool example is on the management consulting side is an organization where the business owner had just had to replace a person that he had known for years that really took advantage of him. And this is a multi-generational business, and he wasn't sure how he was going to sustain and take care of his family. And so there was I see this panic, right? And to me, what I get joy about is helping people paddle through that storm and excel and exceed their expectations. So we I helped them literally recraft their budget and establish what are the goals for the year from a profit perspective.
Got it.
And this organization, by the end of August, they had achieved their annual net profit goal by the end of August of that year in the midst of paddling through that storm.
Now, one of the unique, can I ask you with the same client, you came in with the transaction, the conversation of the employee benefit side.
No, we were introduced to come in to talk with them just regarding they had some strategic issues.
Right.
And so we came in on the management consulting side. And as we came in management, there was a system I wrote called you
can approach either or both.
I can approach either or both. And so we use the system that I wrote called the Cogent ecosystem. And there's 18 tools in there that we will plug and play based on the client's needs.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, we have to start at one and go to, there's other sales things out there, systems, which I won't name, that you have to start at one and finish here. Well, not every business works like that.
Yes.
So to me, I want to assess where they're at, apply measurable, valuable tools that impact them that we can see really quickly. I find that business owners like that, especially when they're paying me a fee to come in and help them. Shouldn't they see an immediate return on that investment, or at least see how we're making progress? And so being able to do that now created a system for them. And now they've also made a couple other acquisitions as a result of that problem, reinvesting in their business, giving people raises as a result of that.
That's awesome.
In spite of some of the other storms that come when you have to move people out due to lack of ethics and things.
Does the phone ring, as they say, so to speak, when it's on fire? Are you getting? I know the referrals, right? We've established that. Anybody listening, Shawn's not looking to necessarily get 1,000 people. Just call him tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm happy to chat with you. Maybe grab a cup of coffee, but no.
But definitely, generally, I'm asking more historically, not like what you would be willing to take. Has it been, hey, Shawn, this guy over here is done trying to do this himself? Is it typically where they're at that pain, or they usually is a business pretty healthy, pretty profitable, and just wants to get to the next level?
I find it a lot of times the organizations we work with, some of them are very profitable. Yep. They're just in a rut.
Right.
And so, so they're just like, well, this is kind of stale. Or then they think, well, maybe I'll just sell it because I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
So I think it's like plateauing and burnout.
Interesting.
And I think what I found is that, to me, I've helped some of the clients that I have that they were going to sell. I'm like, whoa, time to pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Why don't we look at let's rekindle why you're doing what you're doing. And then let's look at, well, is there still something there? There's smoke there. So let's fan that, turn it into a blazing fire. And it's really cool to help people do that. Now, there's some that call me that the house is on fire and it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I like those too. So
I do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've done full on family-based businesses that need a full transformation, maybe not workout. I could handle that, but more just before the workout. Yeah. But totally house on fire. We're not sure how we're going to make payroll in 2 months.
You walk into those.
Love that. Why? Because I have their...
I'm saying just as your friend, you know how unique that is, right? Like,
totally.
People don't like that.
Well, I like
in marketing, but that's the red flags where we kind of tiptoe backwards, and you say things like, hey, we can help, we want to help. We want to, we usually can't.
If the house is on fire,
you got to put the fire out.
And it still hasn't fully burnt the entire house down. To me, as long as you have people that have a desire, then I'm happy to talk to them, right? Regardless, because I think there's so many people that have helped me in the midst of fires personally and professionally,
Yeah.
that I want to return the same thing. But also, let's design. To me, it's about taking the great people you have, leveraging the skill sets, and then putting it into a plan that enables them to execute and see the results.
Right.
So let's establish what those are and write down, and then let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Good or bad. And I find that when you can do that, there's an organization I'm working with right now, privately held business, and they've had an unfortunate decrease in productivity. And so their margins are hurting. And to me, I think it's like, okay, what you have is amazing. Let me just give you a hug and help you go to the next level if you have a desire to do that.
So yeah, I mean, so you're giving these examples, and we've got the time. If you wanted to share a story, I really like this idea that you were walking into probably not every time, into the flames, right? Yeah, the fire, but that you thrive on that. I think that's important for business owners hearing this, for anybody you know. And if you're not saying this, Shawn, I encourage you to put that up front.
Yeah.
That, hey, I come in from those two angles and I thrive on, this is a mess. I can help tame that.
Yeah.
So give me a story, give the listeners a story of the time where you feel like you had the greatest impact, as specific as you can be. Tell us a story of that where it was a real epic problem, and you went like, maybe a story even where you said that is kind of pushed you a little bit.
Yeah. So obviously I won't share names of organizations, but I've been fortunate to work with everything from manufacturing to construction, heavy civil, trades, like all that kind of stuff, into financial services organizations.
Cool.
Right. So it's kind of cool. One was a family business. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
Because
we're going to be talking about this already. And that's
absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
So family organization, and I was introduced to them, and they were moving into that next generation.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they didn't have the right behaviors or practices in place. And so the results, right? I talk about, behaviors and results, right? It's not a new concept, but great behaviors equal great results. Well, so do bad behaviors equal bad results. Well, they had the bad behaviors and the bad results, but they didn't, they're inside the force. They couldn't really tell. So when I went to this organization, they had an 8-figure negative profit 3 years in a row. It's pretty large. So those of you with a calculator, just keep hitting zeros, and when you get to 8, that's what it was. So 3 times 3.
Yeah.
Then it was negative. So I looked at that. To me, that's house on fire, kind of an epic problem. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, let's apply the ecosystem. And like, if you have a plan and you have a team and you have a desire to go to the next level, then I can help you.
But on this show of mine I put together, like we can totally unbutton our top collar here and go like, did you see that though? And go, oh crap. Or
what was interesting?
What's your reaction truly when you first go 3 years? Like,
well, I just looked at it as like, well, the only way to go is up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to go further down. But what was cool is because to me, I think it's like, let's meet people where I would meet them where they're at.
I'm not naive. I'm sorry. I know businesses can move on twice that long, roll the dice that they had some trust and faith and the market's going to turn. They're going to make investments. I'm really going to you as Shawn. Do you see that and go like, yikes, but you're going, hey, it only can go up. That's
well,
great.
I looked at it this way. I'm like, okay, well, because you have the right team.
Yeah.
And if you're open to
okay, that's key.
Implementing and changing your behaviors, then things can turn around. And here's what's super cool. Because we implemented certain things in that organization, they were willing and open to changing how they did business.
That's so key though.
To get to it's critical.
I think
you got to lose the ego and say, what's the end in mind? So I said, if this is where your end in mind is, let's establish that.
Right.
Then let's make and adjust our behaviors and plan according to it, and then just work and execute, right? I mean, let's look at what are the milestones and what are the triggers, so we establish those.
Sure.
So in doing that, we adjusted the behaviors, and we got the team involved, and we were transparent with the team. Here's the problem, but here's how we're going to solve it. Right. And here's how you can help. We're going to leverage your skill set. We're going to, first of all, know what that is, and then leverage it, right? I believe when you can get people doing 80% of the time what they love and what they're great at, it's not work.
Yeah. No, that's key.
It's not work. And so we did this. So fast forward 10 months.
Okay.
This organization had a 7-figure net profit.
You're kidding. Say that again.
No joke.
And how long? How much profit?
So 10 months, 7-figure net profit. It was the first time people had received a bonus in over 5 years.
You must have felt pretty great about yourself, man.
It was amazing. Now, what was cool is I think it was nice, right, to be that positive. I knew that there was a next level that they could get to.
Yeah.
And so to me, I'm like, this is cool, but we can actually, I believe there's an opportunity to double that. And so moving into the following year, it's just fun to work with organizations like, because now they're fired up, right? And so as those behaviors stick and stay in place, it's neat to see that as that organization, and that organization is still in existence today. They're doing quite well.
Yeah.
And so, so that's the kind of stuff to me that is a lot of fun. And, it doesn't matter to me what economic engine they use. Primarily the one we use is the employee benefits, because people are already paying for something.
Exactly. It's a given. It's a line item.
It's a line item on their income statement, right? So to me, let's use that commission, which we disclose, and let's establish a scorecard to help your organization improve. And that brings me joy. That's what's super fun.
Right.
And when you see people who haven't received a bonus in 5 years or 6 years or a couple of years, and then they get...
I like this bonus talk. I like the you should be getting a bonus.
We should.
And you keep doing the same thing, doing better at it.
It's amazing.
And you're pouring profits into your business. You're adding real value.
You're reinvesting in your people.
Sage that has all this wisdom that you're training others with good behaviors. That was my definition. That person should be getting a bonus.
So to me, leverage what people are great at, what they love.
Right.
And then value and appreciate them genuinely.
Yeah.
You can ignite that soul, that hunger inside.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to do. And that's what makes us incredibly different than any other insurance broker that's out there.
I love it. Well, yeah, and the blend of what you do, Shawn's unique. You're unique. You bring uniqueness. You know that.
My family tells me this all the time.
Shawn, I'm telling you say this, Dad. You're unique.
Exactly.
I get it all the time from my kids. They're like, nice music, Dad. That's unique. I go, I get it, kids.
Yeah, I like your music.
Yeah. For the record, though, but you bring a uniqueness. It's infectious. Your team is, you're either on Team Shawn or you're off. It's just very polarizing.
Very transparent.
I love it. White jeans and all.
Yeah.
And when you come in guns blazing, it just sounds like these organizations just have that one. And I wanted to kind of recap that decision to make. Are they willing to just be teachable? It's really humility.
Are you willing to go to the next level?
Yeah.
And I'm going to meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
I'm never going to force anything upon you, but I'm going to want to get to know you. I first and foremost, want to build that trust with you. And that's vulnerability-based trust. So that's a thing where, to me, I have to be willing to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a two-way street.
Yeah.
I found that when I'm vulnerable, I build trust, get to know people. And it's cool to see what happens in an organization that does that well. And it's infectious.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what companies will do as a result of that. And I'm just honored to be able to do what I do for a living.
That's killer, man.
Yeah. It's super fun.
So with this, you're building a reputation. I showed up in Michigan just a few years ago, introduced by a client we have in common, a friend. They're all friends. This was cool. Is that kind of right? You've got this brand, and I'm like, yeah, he takes risks and just knows all these guys. It's awesome. I see a legacy you're leaving. I can kind of see like this footprint, real specific, as people go, wow. When they say like, hey, man, I met Shawn. It's just they light up because you're doing something unique. But in your words, what do you feel you're doing to leave that like generational legacy? Are you able to leave a generational legacy with this?
Hey, absolutely. So
blind professional.
Yeah. So to me, the system that we like to work our clients through, we believe is scalable and sustainable.
Okay.
So something that's scalable and sustainable, magnetic and sticky, I call it MS3. But anyway, my clients are familiar with that. But anyway.
By the way, guys, does this all the time.
Yeah.
Magnetic and sticky. And I'm going, what in the world is
So when something is magnetic, sticky, scalable, and sustainable, that's something that is going to enable an organization to reach that next level for a long period of time.
Right.
And so in doing that, I think it's just tap into what you love and you're great at 80% of the time. Like, keep it simple.
Yeah.
And then leverage your team, leverage their strengths and unique abilities. Right. And when you do that tied to a purpose and a plan, it's amazing what that organization can do to reach that next level. And I think too, internally, right, I look at that with myself, with my team and my own family. It's being genuine and authentic yourself.
Right.
And I find that when I'm genuine and authentic and vulnerable, most of the time I'm going to get that same. And it's cool to see what that relationship does. And to me, so long after I'm gone, my goal is like, how did I help that person, that next generation, pass it on? And giving them a system that's they can duplicate and share with somebody else, either personally or professionally.
Literally wanted to jump in on that point because this is something I'm trying to understand at my age, at stage in business. And I feel like I literally, after 10 years of what I'm doing, I feel like I'm just starting. You know, the feeling of like, wow, I'm really starting to get it. How do you document something like this? Can it be written down? Is it a combination of that and modeling, in your opinion, you know?
Well, I come back to, I use some of the tools on ecosystem,
Right.
and because why reinvent the wheel? So in there, we have a strategic planning tool, and there's thousands of strategic planning tools.
Sure.
But to me, we have a plan that's written down that goes out 1, 3, 5, and 10.
Okay.
So when you look at multi-generational, most organizations, especially in the U.S., a lot of times, a lot of your family businesses don't go out past like 2 weeks. A lot of time, maybe a couple months, right?
Sure.
But your middle market businesses, when they look out 10 years and then adjust their behaviors to that, now you're tapping into that next generation or that next man up.
Right.
And so when you take that strategic vision and apply that with a plan and behaviors and into a system, I mean, Jim Collins is phenomenal, talks about the flywheel, and you apply that into a flywheel with the right team and the right people.
Consistency and
It's amazing what can happen. So it's just putting a plan in place that's not just a plan that you pull on once in a while, you know, like you blow it off. So, oh, here's our plan. You know, it's no, what is it that you're implementing and measuring that makes a difference, that's aligned with your purpose? And we unfortunately don't connect the dots well as a country and a lot of businesses. So.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And so the way that you answered a lot of these questions are each thing you're doing. And if you're not picking up on this with Shawn, and it's laced all throughout your business, it's a lot about getting into the people, meeting with management. First, like you said, building trust, connecting with them.
Yeah.
And that to me is a different way of doing business. That's not like a new concept, but it sometimes gets an eye roll. It gets the idea, whatever. Come on.
Well, it's building trust with the tip of the spear of a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that it's too transactional. And to me, I'm not about the transaction. I'm about the relationship.
Sure.
And I think people are, especially in the insurance business, right? I mean, I hear it all the time. Oh, yeah, my broker shows up 90 to 120 days before the renewal. Hey, man, you know, but they're always smiling and they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We're going to have to give you a 15 to 20% increase.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you'd like us to lower that, no problem. We're going to go ahead and increase your deductibles and copays. And then we'll just pass it on to your employees.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That's wonderful. Employee benefits.
Them,
who benefits there? The broker and the insurance company. And I think it's wrong. I mean, it's okay to make a profit, obviously.
Sure.
It's unfortunate.
In fact, the whole thing we're talking about is profits. It's just trying to understand, hey, where do these services, these required services fit? And yeah. I think as I was kind of hitting that, tip of the spear.
You got to work with management. Like I said, it's like building trust with the tip of the spear, getting to know what's in their heart, who they are, why they function the way they do, and then understanding how their personal purpose is aligned with the purpose of the business. It's amazing how what that business can do. And it's not overly difficult to do that. I just think there's certain people that aren't willing to go there.
Yeah.
And they're too transactional. They're not willing to go deep with somebody.
Sure.
They just want to get a paycheck.
It's been fun working with
too many advisors do that.
Right. Over this last year, because you and I will just have sort of water cooler talk over, hey, here's this client, you know, incompetence that I'm dealing with.
Yep.
And I'll mention to you in my experience, and it's an honor to get these guys open up and admit, I don't know if I want to do this. Hey, I'm actually kind of burning out. Or, you know anybody? I think I'm ready to sell. And even in marketing and group benefits, you start all of a sudden, it's a bullet train right into owners, management team, and personally you go like, oh yeah, maybe the best consult for you is we try to form an exit. What I would then tee that into is ask you then whether they decide to work with Cogent, you know, and those folks listening going, this sounds like a lot of what I'm going through, pain points that we're stuck, can't scale, we're unprofitable. But regardless of those kind of elements, I think you just care about the people so much that I've not met anyone in business that cares about the people so much, because it's such a short little episode and, you know, you guys need to contact Shawn if you want to have the conversation. But what would be one thing in general you would recommend that these men and women and folks listening, one thing they could do to live a more fulfilling, better, happier life? And it can be in business, it could just be in general. But you give a lot of advice on this.
Yeah.
But what would be one thing?
So the one thing I would say is look at where you put your faith.
Nice. Okay.
Where is it your faith and what are you putting it in?
Mm-hmm.
And is what you're putting your faith in something that can stand the test of time? I think just start there. It's
Sure.
where do you put your faith?
Yeah.
And for me personally, it's I put my faith in the truth that is in the Bible.
Cool.
And I'm not trying to get religious or preachy or anything like that.
No,
I'm
too late
just
for that, man.
I'm just stating the fact that to me, the Bible is one of the greatest books that's been underutilized
Sure.
the wrong way. And I think the Bible gets a bad rap.
Absolutely.
And it's a great guidebook. We read all these self-help books. Wait a second. There's one that's 2,000 years old that's proven.
Yeah.
It's factual. And so to me, it's about, leveraging something that's right in front of you and not be embarrassed by it. I think it's read that for a sense of insight.
Cool.
And there's a reason there's 31 Proverbs because there's 31 days in it, right? So read one Proverbs a day. And I think it's where you're putting your faith in. And I don't know where it is or who it is in, but where do you put your faith? Because I can tell you right now, if you put your faith in your money, in your bank account, it's not sustainable and it's not multi-generational. And I'll tell you what, it's shallow as a kiddie pool.
I was going to say that. I've met folks that have done very, very well for themselves.
I agree.
Some folks listening, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't, it's biblical, right? It is. Yes. It's this whole, hey, like, you're not taking that stuff with you.
Yeah.
When you go, there's no U-Hauls at a funeral, I would hear.
Correct.
So,
that's true.
And so you need that lens of going, hey, Jewish, Protestant, Muslim, the point
doesn't matter.
You're making, I think, I don't want to speak for you, is if you're putting it in business, you're going to have you will live a bipolar, chaotic life. Maybe Shawn and I are helping to, because I knew what your answers would be.
Yeah.
To help make you think differently after this episode, to just start thinking of where you're putting. Yeah, great challenge.
First thing, look at where you put your faith. In general, my recommendation is, you don't have to do it, but my recommendation is look where that faith is.
Sure.
I recommend just read the Bible for yourself, not because someone told you or some preacher, televangelist kook that you saw. But read it for yourself.
Yeah. Sure.
And it's amazing how when you read it for yourself, what'll happen.
Yeah.
You can't read it and not be transformed.
Right.
And every person is transformed differently. So that would be my recommendation. And
that's awesome.
And I'm an imperfect, crazy person.
Yeah.
And so grateful for that. So
awesome. The grateful guy in his white denim jeans today, again, guys, is Shawn Spencer of Cogent Advisors. We'll link everything in the episode below. The episode, it looks different on each platform, but you'll have no trouble finding his .coms and his web applications and such. Shawn, it's always cool hanging out, man. Any other sign off? The cinnamon bread your wife made was great, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm all about snacks, right? To me, key indicators for the podcast for me was fun, food, and fellowship. And so we've had all those. Great. So we've achieved all the KPIs for today. So thank you for having me. And I'm excited to be interviewed by you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, right on, man. Thank you.
The Business Chat is a production of Suited and Suited Studios. End the chaos and experience marketing relief with one full-service solution. Visit looksuited.com for more information.